Woof.
Okay. So here is the new DevBlog that came out today on February 1st, 2024, where the title is, and this is a cold read through. I've only seen this highlighted title is all I've seen. I literally just brought this up before I went live. So they're talking about Piñata Hunt, early access to Commonwealth cruisers, Submarines update, and more for Closed Test 13.2. So they are saying Captain's Update 13.2 is just around the corner. Let's get into the details of some of the upcoming features you can expect. This is a weird picture already I'm seeing here. An island with googly eyes. I'm not sure what that's about. Piñata Hunt. Get out your bats and get ready to smash. New April Fool's Day event, complete with piñatas, okay. Available as a separate game mode. This year's event features a specially decorated and modified version of Hotspot map, on which players will compete to bust open piñatas. Okay. That's interesting. So here's your brightly colored mountain with googly eyes. Lots of bright colors here. We have a lit airstrip. And what map did they say this was? Hotspot. Okay. Wow. What the heck? Is that the piñata? I wonder if the piñata is so I wonder if the piñata is going to be like a certain ship on if there's like a bot team you're facing. All right, let's look at the details and maybe we'll figure it out, because this looks like it's going to be the piñata. Battles will take place with their tier 8 and 9 ships, 7 players per team. The team that sinks the others' ships first, or first to earn 1,000 points, wins. No more than 1 carrier, 1 sub, 3 battleships, 3 cruisers, 3 DDs per team. A special piñata ship, either a battleship or aircraft carrier, will also join the battle. Piñata ship will take one of 8 predefined routes randomly during the battle. When Piñata is destroyed, a shrinking key area will spawn on the spot of its destruction. Both player ships and Piñata ship will have unique explosion effect once they're destroyed. Okay, so it sounds like this is kind of like the game mode we get now, where the shrinking center cap spawns, and I can never remember the name of that mode. I'm sorry. But it sounds like this is going to be a little like that, but the point at which that pops up is going to be when the piñata ship bites the dust, if I'm understanding that right. Okay, so this is tier 8 and 9, 7 players per team. Very interesting. Wow, definitely a piñata ship. Oh, that looks like a... Okay. In the temporary Piñata Hunt battle type, players will have access to a new type of consumables with special effects, such as placing minefields, buffing their team in various different ways, and more. There will be 8 unique tactical consumables in total, with each ship type having access to 5 of them. 1 consumable for each ship type will be unlocked at the start, while up to 4 others may be attained by completing missions or purchasing with credits. Okay, so we're going to get lots of funny buttons. That's the best way I get this. Definitely looks kind of interesting. So it looks like you're going to get a unique consumable for whatever ship type you're playing, and then you can unlock more. Okay. Captains will choose one of their available tactical consumers to be brought into battle while in port, similar to other consumables. Swapping between them will be free of charge. These consumables will use an additional separate slot. So you get to choose which one you're going to bring into battle, and then you can get more depending on what happens during the game. Okay. One charge of the tactical consumable will be available at the start of the battle. Additional charges can be collected from interactive zones dropped 3 times per battle by the Pinata ships at different HP thresholds. Once an interactive zone is taken by a ship, similar to the collectible buffs in the arms race mode. There you go, arms race. That was what I was looking for. This is basically a modified form of arms race. The whole team will receive an additional charge of their selected tactical consumables. Okay. They're going to tell us what they are, tactical consumables. So let's see what we get. Damage control measures restores 1% hit point per second to you and your allies. That's applies the damage control party effect. Reload time 120 seconds, action time 30. Okay, so this is only active for 30 seconds, but still, that heals 30% of your hit points. So, you know, if you got 100,000, like if you're in a Musashi, you can heal something like 30,000 health with that. So, yeah, that's interesting. Smoke screen places a smoke area at the specified location. Reload time 90 seconds. Action time 90 seconds. Prep time 30 seconds. Setting time 25 seconds. So, okay. So, prep time I'm not sure about. Reload time I get. Prep time, I guess that's the generation of the smoke. And in action time, I don't know. 90 seconds? Does that mean that the smoke is there for 90 seconds? Don't know. Sabotage slows down the pinata, prevents your team from losing points, prevents the opposing team from earning points. Wow, that's interesting. Reconnaissance squad calls planes in the area. Airplanes patrol the area, detecting and attacking enemy ships. Reload time 60 seconds. Action 120 seconds. Prep time 30. Okay. Minefield places a minefield in the selected area. Field activation time 40 seconds. Prep time 30 seconds. Maneuver speeds up allies by 30%, increases the rudder shift by 30% of allies. Wow, okay, so 30% speed and rudder shift. Interesting. Immortality makes you and your allies immune to all damage. Action time 15 seconds. So that's 15-second immunity to damage buff. Interesting. Target enemy takes 20% more damage. This is focus fire. 20% more damage from all sources. So good for focus fire. You know, that big Russian battleship with 100,000 health. Well, he takes 20% more damage. This says from all sources, so fires, floods, everybody pile it on. We'll get him out of there quicker. Okay. Once smokescreen, reconnaissance squad, minefield, and focus fire tactical consumables are activated, tactical map will appear on which you can select the area and use the selected consumable. In the case of focus fire, you will need to select the enemy ship instead of an area. Okay. It kind of indicated that. The list of tactical consumables for all ship types and their starting consumables, as well as the order of unlocking the rest through special combat. So a submarine gets the maneuver, and then you can look at that yourself. We won't go through this in detail, but that's what everybody starts out. So who gets okay, so immortality, sub battleship and aircraft carrier gets that at the end. Destroyer and cruiser don't get it at all, right? No. That's because everybody likes to sink destroyers and cruisers. Subs and aircraft carriers live forever. Okay. So this is a lot to take in here. Also, there have been the following changes to the mines since their last appearance in Concealed Maneuvers. Submarines will receive less damage from mines depending on depth difference at the moment of triggering the mine. Minefields will now be divided into 2 zones. The center will be more dense with mines, while in the outer zone they will be placed more loosely. So don't go through the middle of the minefield. Okay. Yeah. Enhanced minefield visual appearance from underwater perspective. Improve the minefield warning interface. Aircraft carriers will now automatically use ASW to clear mines when they are nearby. Allied minefields may now intersect, which allows two minefields to be mixed and fill gaps in the minefield, if any. Okay. Upon entering the battle, one of the 14 event-themed camos will be randomly applied to your ship. So, okay, these then may not be... I still think these are the Pinata ships, but these are the event-themed camos. You get licorice swirl. Looks like party confetti. I kind of like that one. Pretty good. Mint drops, not a fan. Not a big fan of the lime green on my ship. Cotton candy, not a big fan of that one. During the event, players will be able to obtain Pinata tokens for free, which they can exchange for the following rewards in the armory: licorice swirl, mint drops, cotton candy, event-themed perma camos, dumpling perma camo, rabbit torpedo patch, and Pinata commemorative flag. Okay, wow. Well, that was a whole lot to unpack on this. Whole lot to unpack. Wow. Okay. Next up is early access to Commonwealth cruisers. We are seeing the long-awaited Commonwealth cruisers were enter early access in 13.2 in honor of the event. Thematic permanent camouflages for Delhi, Auckland, and Cerberus will be added to the game. Additionally, historical commanders Harold Farncombe and Leonard Murray Commonwealth Rockfish Patch, Commonwealth Team Commemorative Flag, and Commonwealth Team Premium containers will be added to the game. So there's your new camo. I don't know how crazy I am about the design. It's okay, but I love the color scheme. This is not bad. Just not a giant fan of this color scheme, but of the pattern. This reminds me a little bit of those German camos that are the red, white, and black. I love that. Well, I mean, you see my stream colors is red, white, and black. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Here's your captain's flag patch, all that stuff. Both light and heavy cruisers are represented in this line, with low to mid tiers being armed with 152mm guns, while tier 8 and above will be 203s. They'll have good damage per minute, but drawbacks include relatively poor ballistics and slow turret traverse. Starting from tier 3, the ships will additionally be armed with torpedoes. At tier 7, these torpedoes become long-ranged and may even be launched from stealth due to excellent concealment of the ships. As is standard for most cruisers, the line will feature hydro in its own slot starting at tier 4 and sharing a slot with defensive AA fire at later tiers. Starting at tier 5, the signature crawling smoke generator will be available in its own slot, with this long action time allowing slow movement while remaining concealed. Starting at tier 8, the ships will be equipped with a repair party of standard characteristics. Additionally, Commonwealth cruisers will have access to an enhanced submarine surveillance consumable with improved range starting from tier 5, as well as improved characteristics of their depth charge airstrike. Okay. Here are our Commonwealth Team Premium container contents. So let's see what you can get in these guys. So there's 2 slots in here, it looks like. 40 Commonwealth tokens. Looks like you get that every time. Second slot, you have a 2.5% chance to receive 400 Commonwealth tokens. You have a 20% chance for each type of the special economic bonuses. And then you have a 14.7% chance for 1 million credits 2.8% chance, 2.8% change. I think that's supposed to be chance to receive one of the following rewards: permanent camos for Auckland, Submarines, and Encounter at Tier 9. So you got a 2.8% chance for a perma camo. Wow. Okay. So. These aren't the best. Not the best. Wouldn't be spending any money on these with the way I'm seeing it right now. Or I certainly won't. Permanent camouflages for Delhi, Cerberus are still in development and will be available at a later date. Additionally, we plan to update the permanent camo for Auckland. Now they're going to tell us some more about the Submarines update. Multiple new features and improvements for Submarines will be implemented. Let's get right into the details, shall we? Dynamic torpedoes. Now all submarine torpedoes will deal reduced damage within the first few kilometers traveled. For the first 2.9 kilometers, they will only deal 10% damage. 10% damage? While from 2.9 to 3 kilometers, their damage will scale up to 100% linearly, avoiding scenarios where a single meter difference could result in a drastically different damage. So basically, if your torpedoes do 10,000 damage, if you hit a ship and they travel 2.9 kilometers or less, they're going to do 1,000 damage. But as they go over 2.9 to 3 kilometers, they go from 1,000 damage up to that 10,000 in that 100 meters. So depending on where they're at in that 100 meters, it goes up quickly. Okay. Due to the minimal damage at point-blank ranges, arming distance for alternative submarine torpedoes will be reduced, approximately 400 meters, similar to homing torpedoes. This change will make close-range shotgun attacks harder to execute. Okay. While rewarding ships with depth charges in close combat engagements against submarines. Okay. I get it. Ping indicator improvements. When a submarine pings, a visible indicator appears on the water surface. Now, a direction indicator will be improved, giving players an approximate direction of travel of the submarine at the time of pinging. Okay, that's something. That's welcome. Underwater terrain visibility. Formerly, a submarine would have to enter binocular view or use hydrophone to clearly see underwater terrain. Now, due to the hydrophone action time being drastically reduced as part of the changes announced as DevBlog, the sonic wave revealing underwater terrain that was previously tied to the use of this consumable will now be freely available when submerged via the N key that activates the ship horn. Using the horn button will allow players to assess their surroundings more easy. So basically, press in to see what's going on around you. Okay. Improved submarine proximity alert. In rare cases, due to the lack of assured detection of other submarines while underwater, submarines could collide with no warning. Well, who cares? But now a proximity alert with new audio and visual effects will be added to warn players when they're close to another sub. So if you're just charging straight through, since you spawned so much further ahead, if you just charge straight through and another submarine's doing the other thing and you don't have your submarine surveillance on, you could just run right into each other and kill each other. So they don't want that to happen. Frankly, them's the breaks. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think we even need this. If you're not going to give them a way to detect the subs, them's the breaks. Or do what you do with everything else and just give the little bastards 2 kilometers, assured detection like every other ship in the freaking game has. That's not hard to do. In any case, what's interesting, they're still not giving you're still not going to be able to see the other submarine. You just know that, okay, it's kind of like having having the destroyer skill, the radio location. That's kind of, as I understand it, what's going to be. So, there's something I can't see that's ahead and to my left a little bit, about 45 degrees to my left. I shouldn't go over there. It might be another sub that I'll run into. Okay. What else do we have here? So that is Submarines update. Here's the submarine upgrade changes. As part of improvements and overhauled submarine mechanics, several changes will be made to the submarine upgrades. Submarine steering gears mod 3 will be removed. Whoa, okay. Damage control mod 1 and torpedo lookout system will be removed from submarines but will remain as an option for other ship classes. Sonar mod 2 will be moved from slot 3 to slot 2. Okay. All of the above mentioned upgrades that are mounted on submarines at the moment of update release will be demounted at no cost, removed from players' accounts, and compensation issued according to their full prices. Additionally, for every instance of sonar modification 2 stored in a player's inventory, 250,000 credits will be added to their account as this upgrade is being moved to a cheaper slot. Submarine steering gears mod 3 will be removed from players' inventory and players will receive full compensation. Additionally, all players will be granted a global 100% discount on demounting upgrades for a week with the release of 13.2. That's cool. Additional upgrades changes. Submarine steering gears mod 2 is being renamed to submarine steering gears, and its parameters will be changed to the following: rudder shift time minus 50%, diving plane shift time minus 50%. Holy schlamoli. That's a big mod. Wow, okay. That's a lot. I mean, what do you get on ship rudder shift time? Is it 20% on the slot 4 upgrade, and is it another 20%, or is it a little bit more than that on the slot 5 upgrade if you take that one too? It's still, though, it's crazy. What else we got? New upgrades will be added for submarines. Damage control system mod 3 in slot 2 reduces damage from fire and floods by 5%. Okay. Torpedo tubes mod 3, slot 5, increases torpedo damage by 7%. Certain boats will like that. Maybe a lot of them. Submarine compartment reinforcement in slot 5 reduces damage received from depth charges by 15%. Wow. Okay, like they weren't already hard to kill with depth charges anyway. We will also include 2 special upgrades for consumables in the armory. Reserve battery unit mod 1, slot 2, consumable action time plus 20. And submarine surveillance mod 1, slot 3, consumable prep and reload time minus 20. This special upgrade will also be available for surface ships which have access to this consumable. These should increase the diversity of submarine builds and allow for interesting choices within submarine upgrades. Well, okay. Now, submarine balance changes. Holy crap. Still more submarine stuff. Got to have some more liquid refreshment. So, balance changes. All right, as mentioned before in our post on World of Warships portal, in parallel with addressing the issue of submarines, one of our goals was to maintain the same level of effectiveness for the ship class. Therefore, balance changes have been applied to all standard torpedoes and to the acoustic torpedoes of the researchable British submarines in a tech tree. So this is British subs. The damage of alternative torpedoes has been increased by 15% and British acoustic torpedoes by 5%. Or are they saying that we think that the British sub-torps suck and we had to buff them? It looks like it. The range of the alternative torpedoes found on German tech tree line was increased to allow for their use outside of any close-range engagements. Okay, interesting. German sub U-190 at Tier 8. Stock alternative torpedo range increased from 5.5 to 7. Researchable alternative torpedo range increased from 6.3 to 7.5. Okay. German submarine U-2501 at Tier 10. Stock alternative torp range increased from 6.3 to 7.5, and researchable alt torp range increased from 6.3 to 8. Whew. So there's all of your submarine changes. Wow. Okay. So some little bit of buffs in certain areas there. Now we got content addition. New content will be added to the client with update 13.2. The black cat flag. That's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Can't deny that that's not kind of cool. Plus ultra premium container. Content of this container will be revealed in one of the future updates. Ooh. Ultra premium. It's not just a premium container, folks. It's an ultra premium container. There could be anything in here. There could be 1 million gold. There could be 1 billion credits. Anything could be in here. All of the tier 9 premium ships in one container. They could all be there. You never know. But no, we'll get more information on this later. Cool looking container though. Added new portraits and voiceovers for standard Commonwealth commanders to reflect India, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. Okay. So they changed the portraits and voiceovers. So the Canadian captains say A at the end of every sentence, right? The Australian captain will say mate a lot, I'm sure. Not sure about the others, but you get the idea. I'm sure they changed accents on the voiceovers or something. They did something. So, okay. Good on them. So, let's see if I can do a really quick recap backing up here. New ultra premium containers that we don't know what they are yet. New Black Cat flag. Submarine balance changes to make the German alternative torps have more range, and the British the British acoustic torpedoes have more damage output. We have all kinds of upgrade changes that I will not go through in detail, but some upgrades are removed, some new ones are added. Most of them appear to have some bit of usefulness. A lot of Buffy buffs. Submarines updates. So they're trying to prevent shotgunning is the big thing right here by saying that any torpedo that strikes a ship that has traveled 2.9 kilometers or less will do only 10% of its damage. So it does that's like an overpin. Your torp doesn't go off, it just overpins. Okay. Or it doinks off the hull and causes a leak. So, yeah. What else? We have Commonwealth Team Premium containers, kind of meh. You can read this to see what is all in them. We have the early access to Commonwealth cruisers. Some interesting new camos, captains, flag, patch, all that good stuff. Then we have this new battle type where you can earn these Pinata theme-based camos, which I think the Licorice Swirl is by far and away the best of these three. They're the same camo, just with a different base color. I'm just not a fan of the green at all. Not a fan of lime green. Not a particularly big fan of the pink either. But the black one's pretty cool. So yeah, without going into a lot of details, we're getting this Pinata mode, Piñata Hunt, which is kind of like Arms Race, where it sounds like you kill the Pinata ship, and wherever you kill it at, there's two teams fighting. Wherever you kill the Pinata ship, that is where your cap circle spawns and then starts to shrink. So, and then your ships get all these interesting tactical consumers that you start with, tactical consumables, where you start with one and then you can earn other ones as the game goes on. So, yeah, lots of very interesting game mode. Don't know. And it looks like this Piñata Hunt, which is a separate game mode, it's April Fool's stuff. It's going to take spot specifically on hotspots. So we may have to try it out, see what it's like, but definitely looks different, that's for sure. And that's it. That's the big DevBlog from today on February 1st regarding the Piñata Hunt and the Commonwealth cruisers, and a lot of sub updates. So that's coming in 13.2 to a World of Warships game near you. So be looking for it. Now, take a breath, and let's get out in the game and start playing some World of Warships. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to receive notifications of future videos, just ring the bell. Until next time, Tater Dawg says, woof.